I want to take a second here to talk about conservation with these big walleyes. And I'm sure some of you are sitting at home and you're drilling thinking, man, look at all those fillets off those big fish. And I'm not a person, let me just get it out there right now, that I'm not a person that's totally all catch and release. I do it a lot on the show and I fish a lot. I mean, I do it for a living. So we take our fair share of fish and put them in the freezer. But what I want to make known is make sure that when you go out and do this night walleye fishing, or any walleye fishing for that matter, and it could be lake trout, even perch, what you want to do is you want to keep the smallest fish possible. Now, obviously, you don't want something real tiny where you're not going to get any fillets. But, you know, if you're out catching 10 pounders and you get one that's 3 pounds, that's the one you want to keep to eat. And I can't stress that enough. Up here in the Northwest, we've got a tremendous walleye fishery, and there's a lot of walleye guys out there fishing. And the one thing they always do is turn these big fish loose. Some of the keys to that, when you turn these big fish loose, that's your brood stock. You know, these fish are going to take anywhere from 15 to 20 years to get that size. We start killing those fish off, and that fishery is going to deplete really fast. You're going to end up with a bunch of fish that are going to be 2-3 pounds, and you're going to be able to go out and catch hundreds of them, but you won't run into those big females because the size of the fish will actually stunt when you start killing those big brood stocks. So what I like to do, I've got a good quality scale. It's a Boga grip. I can open it up, put the fish in there, hang them real quick, get my measurement, and it goes in half-pound increments. So that's when you hear me saying, you know, it's 5.5, 10.5. You always hear halves. That's how I do that, just because of the increments of the scale. But it's a good quality scale, so one, I can know the weight of that fish. And the other thing I do, because I like to have replica mounts made, I don't like to kill the fish. If I want to have it mounted, I want to have a replica done of it. So what I'll do is, I got a tape measure here, pull it out, I'll get my length, my girth, I'll get some good still pictures, I'll get the weight of that fish. Then you can send that fish to your local taxidermist. My good friend John Bambasino, you've seen him on the show before. He does a tremendous job. That fish is back swimming, but yet you have it up on the wall to look at. And it keeps that fish, big brood stock, like those walleye, going for the future. Our kids, our grandkids will be able to enjoy them down the road at some point in time. So make sure and turn those big fish loose. It'll be a lot better fishery coming in the future.